What's going on, fellow A-plussers? It is I, your Morphinominal host, as always, Adam Perez, back once again with a brand new episode for you guys, an impromptu episode here, hitting you guys on a Monday to hopefully erase any case of the Mondays that you guys certainly might have, as we've got ourselves a brand new exclusive report for you guys today, coming to us straight from the Illuminerdi themselves. Listen, when it comes to the 30th anniversary, guys, it's been kind of confusing. It's kind of been all up in the air, trying to figure out exactly what we're getting, who's coming back, what type of format are we getting for this upcoming 30th anniversary season or special or whatever the case may be. Today, we definitely get ourselves a little bit of further clarity in regards to what we can certainly expect, as Illuminerdi certainly has some insight for us, that maybe they're not only giving us a 30th anniversary season, but maybe an additional project for a reunion special of our classic Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team. So let's go ahead and dive into this just a little bit and see exactly what this article is talking about today, man. Because I read about this earlier this afternoon, and I got pretty excited about the possibilities here in regards to what this article reveals. And then maybe it definitely will give us a better insight into what we can expect for the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers. So let's dive into this, guys. This is from the Illuminerdi.com, exclusive report from good old Bryce. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion special to feature original cast members. Earlier this week, Jin Saku, who we mentioned on this past week's episode of A Plus Morphinominal, did go ahead and post the idea that he claimed the OG Rangers were certainly back, right? I got the opportunity to sit into one of his Twitter spaces, and really what was discussed was the idea of maybe the 30th anniversary special changing, the original OGs kind of coming back sort of thing. But now we're getting a little bit clarity here in regards to the idea that while the OG certainly may be returning, it may be in a different format than what we were certainly expecting, because it seems to, according to Illuminerdi, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion special set to feature the OGs. So let's go ahead and break this down. It says the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is quickly approaching. And with that comes new information on how Hasbro plans to celebrate this momentous occasion. The Illuminerdi can reveal that exclusively reveal that alongside the 30th anniversary season, there will be a reunion special that will reunite some of the original cast members from MMPR. So what we're hearing right now, Hasbro's got some big plans, not just the 30th anniversary season, but also now a reunion special, according to them, that will reunite some of the original cast members. It does say that we previously reported that David Yost is returning for the 30th season of the show, which is what we certainly talked with you guys about a couple of weeks ago on A Plus Morphinominal, hyping up his return for the 30th anniversary season. And now he could be returning for this anniversary special as well. All other original cast members have been asked to return. However, we do not currently have information to share for who else is returning. Now, to clarify, I also did go ahead and check out the Illuminerdi's YouTube page, and the reporter on the YouTube page announced kind of the same thing, that while all original cast members have been asked to return, they believe as of right now, 3 have at least confirmed their return. They haven't announced who, but they believe at least 3 of the members have at least will at least be coming back as of right now. So while it says we do not currently have information to share who else will be returning, the YouTube page did reference 3 at least so far, but all of them have certainly been invited to certainly come back. It is also important to note in the story revealing David Yost's return, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, we reported that the 30th season would have a 44-minute episodes. We have now learned that the 44-minute length only pertains to this special and not the season as a whole. So we were very much under the impression that this 30th anniversary season might be shorter episodes, but longer episodes, according to the Illuminerdi article. Now that things are starting to become a little bit clearer here, according to them, they are saying that this 40-minute length episodes now simply pertains to this particular special. So I am kind of curious as to how many episodes we're certainly going to be getting. So it does feel very much David Yost certainly plans on returning for the 30th anniversary season, and that they're also planning a Mighty Morphin reunion special that they are also assuming David Yost will certainly be back. And while they can't name every OG that's certainly returning, they do believe that at least three have been verified, or at least plan on coming back as of right now. And we'll see what else is announced. So it does say, while select members of the Power Ranger team have reunited in later seasons, this will be the first dedicated original MMPR reunion since Austin St. John, Walter Jones, and Tui Trang left the show back in 1994. And then they do talk about that the 30th anniversary is expected to be the grand finale of Power Rangers series that has been running since 1993. And they go on to talk about the idea of Netflix helming and the upcoming reboot and things like that. So interesting, huh? Very interesting, if you ask me, because for me, at least, when I think of this and this sort of thing is announced, guys, I can't lie. I cannot lie. Considering the fact that we've been focused on this for weeks, there is a part of me that really does think that this reunion special is exactly what David Yost was certainly hoping for in regards to his hashtag Quantum Continuum. Again, now the article itself does not say that specifically, but we have been knocking our heads against the door, asking a bunch of questions, speculating, even trying to predict around here. How did Hasbro go about certainly getting David Yost to certainly return for the 30th anniversary? One of the things that we said was David Yost has always been open about the idea of returning. If he were to return, though, it would certainly have to be a very serious role or a big role, not just some one-off sort of cameo. And considering the fact that the announcement we got a couple of weeks ago was the fact that he's coming back for a cameo, it felt very non-David Yost to us, unless there was certainly something else attached. That's what we certainly assumed. That's what we certainly predicted. The idea that maybe Hasbro liked what they saw with the with the Quantum Continuum. Maybe they went ahead and greenlit it. And by doing that, David might have been like, you know what? Yeah, I'll come back for the cameo on the 30th anniversary. Why not? It certainly feels like it's lining up to be that. But again, that's just speculation on my part, me trying to predict something here. It just feels too too on the nose to certainly be anything else, concerning the fact that David Yost has mentioned he's got a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger reunion special that he would certainly like to create. And one of the things that we have talked about this past week also was the continued push of David Yost and Quantum Continuum, not necessarily talking about it like it was a concept or a theory, but something that is actually happening. I mean, the guy's been talking about it for months. Not only is he showcasing that he's getting ripped and that he's clearly in shape for something, maybe outside of his own physical health, it just feels like he's Ranger fit when he certainly needs to be. And then this past week, we also went ahead and highlighted the fact that David Yost himself wind up dropping concept art or concept weapons of his particular season. And I just don't think you go that length or go that far to push Quantum Continuum just for support if you're now out here revealing weapons and phrases and making, quotes from your series, or talking about the idea that he's afraid the villains will steal the show. Again, not conceptually or, man, I hope this happens, but it feels very tangible sort of now more than ever. And again, they haven't announced Quantum Continuum. But again, what we've been talking about around here is what brought David Yost back. What could certainly get David Yost back? And now that we're certainly seeing how things are turning out, a 30th anniversary season, now with a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion special, it just feels like it's got all the writings on the wall to certainly be Quantum Continuum. Could it be something else? Absolutely. Could we eventually get more information in, say, like a month or so, and this completely contradict what I was certainly hoping for? Absolutely. Because things clearly always do change, especially when it comes to developing a series. So anything can certainly change at any time. But I would really love to see Hasbro officially officially announce this as Quantum Continuum if that is in fact the case. Somebody did mention the idea on Twitter to me. They said, maybe they're just taking ideas, but it's not necessarily the show. Could they have done that? Absolutely. But I just think to myself, well, if you're just going to use ideas from what David Yost is doing with Quantum Continuum, you might as well just make the show in the first place, right? So guys, I think we've been on to something for months around here. If you've been following A Plus Morphinominal, if you've been listening to what we've been talking about, trying to connect the pieces in regards to what's going on when it comes to the 30th anniversary, I'm not going to take a lap around the around the house right now, claiming victory or prediction or anything like this. But it just feels too on the nose to be anything else. And I'll be more than happy to certainly be fine with that. So again, this does make me kind of put what Amy Jo Johnson said months ago into a different perspective. Maybe she certainly knew something that we didn't, certainly back at the time. And we're starting to get more information. And listen, now Joseph Deckelmeyer from the Illuminerdi, he did also go ahead on Twitter and state more information to come. There is certainly more news to be dropped from him within the next week or so. So we may, in fact, be getting even further development. And so I will say this, when I was talking on Saturday, one of the things that I talked about was that Jin, according to the space that we were talking about, he had mentioned in the Twitter space that the OGs were coming back. And one of the things that I asked him after he explained it, I said, what you're explaining to me, Jin, feels very much like Quantum Continuum. And so it feels very much like the information that Jin was getting, while correct, the way that the information was certainly coming through was bits of information, it feels like, from two conceptually different projects now being thrusted together, and it just comes out really confusing. Now that we're getting a little bit more clarity from a secondary source in the Illuminerdi, because you got to put these two together, right? Like, they're not sharing the same sources. They're getting their information from two separate different people. And so when the person that I also reached out to outside of Jin pushed back against the idea of the OGs being in the 30th anniversary. But now I see why, right? Because of the fact that it's not the 30th anniversary season they're going to be on, but they are in fact coming back for the reunion special that the Illuminerdi is certainly revealing. Now, could they come back for the anniversary season? There's always a possibility, right? Like, if Billy's certainly going to be in there for at least one episode, who's to say Amy or any of the other OGs pop up for an episode here or there? But it does feel like maybe there's a cameo in the season, and then they actually get their time to shine in a reunion special for MMPR. Again, that's just speculation. I'm just trying to put the pieces here together for you guys. Again, if you've been following us for the past several weeks, this is exactly what we've been trying to do. And now that more information is coming out, it feels more and more likely. So I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think, though. Well, again, we could absolutely be wrong. It just feels, one, fantastic. Thank you so much, Hasbro, for certainly making this happen. Even if this isn't Quantum Continuum, let me just say, if we are truly getting ourselves two projects for the 30th anniversary, what a way to go out on, right? I mean, the idea of the scripts that we had seen, the idea of, the casting sides of, listen, this is only going to take 4 to 5 weeks to certainly film. I am still kind of curious as to what that's for now. Now that we're getting further clarity on what the MMPR reunion special might consist of, with OG Rangers certainly coming back, this being the special that does have the longer episodes, it does make me wonder where that leaves the 30th anniversary season itself. Is Yen still going to be playing as a particular character? Is Yen in both projects and they actually connect to each other? Because remember, there certainly is information and news out there, rumors regardless, hashtag grain of salt, that apparently there are supposed to be other Rangers involved, creating a brand new team with a mixture of past Rangers. And so I do wonder if this Yen character is the main character for the anniversary season and the MMPR reunion special. Maybe she pops up in there and then jumps over to the anniversary season who certainly know how it works, but I am kind of curious to start seeing more information. Maybe other Rangers revealed from past seasons being in the season now that we know that the OGs may not necessarily take over that season because of the fact that they're finally getting themselves a reunion special in some way or another. So more details will come. Again, Joe from the Illuminerdi said that he has more information to go ahead and reveal. And maybe all the pieces will certainly start coming together, not only in regards to the 30th anniversary, but as well as the future of Power Rangers, whether it be movies or the reboot and reimagining that they're certainly working on right now. So again, to clarify what the Illuminerdi is saying right now, 2 projects for the 30th anniversary, one as a season. I guess that begs the question, what's going to be adapted? I would assume still certainly more original footage. Are we going to get a combination of more Rangers and what Rangers certainly will come by? And then we also have the Mighty Morphin reunion special that's been announced that I honestly think is Quantum Continuum without them actually announcing it, considering how all the pieces are certainly falling, along with the idea of David Yost continuing to push the hell out of this particular project. So certainly keep an eye on it. And when they do announce Quantum Continuum, remember where you heard it first. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Who knows? Maybe they'll call it Power Rangers Continuum Quantum. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. Let's see here. What else are you guys saying? Let me go ahead and jump into some live chat with you guys today now that we've gotten the news out of the way. And maybe we'll kind of clarify some things along the way if you guys have any questions. What's up, Francois? Good to see you in here, as always. Good old Nicole Robertson. Hey, y'all. Hope you had a great weekend. I must be dreaming. Adam is doing an A+ Morphinominal today on a Monday. Yeah, trying to keep you guys on your toes. You know what I'm saying? We got Michael Rhymes in here. What's up, fellas? He said it ain't Saturday. I know. I'm trying to, psych you guys out a little bit. Coder Nerd, what's up? He says, "Woo, Amy Joe finally back again." The Illuminerdi doesn't announce anybody specifically saying that the original OGs have at least been invited to certainly come back, right? Let me just double check what it says. Okay, it says, we previously reported that David Yost is returning for the 30th season of the show, and now he could be returning for this anniversary reunion special as well. All the other original cast members have been asked to return. However, we do not currently have the information to share who else will be returning. But again, the YouTube website, the YouTube channel of Illuminerdi said at least 3 they believe are, in fact, at least coming back as of right now. Maybe more talks to certainly happen. So if I had to guess, I got to think David, I got to think Amy, and I got to think Austin. Maybe Walter. Maybe Walter. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think that's probably about all we're going to get. I'm not expecting JDF, though. Abase says, I hope Tommy's not in it. I mean, yeah, I'm not expecting him. But you know what? Listen, with him maybe not being in it, again, nothing's been confirmed. With him maybe not being in it, I do wonder if this opens the door for him to be on the season, the 30th anniversary season, not so much the special. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Again, that's just me speculating. Chris Cross, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. Gabriel says, I did not expect this today. I'm about to go home for the day. Hopefully I can catch this live. Good old Carter in the house. What's up, Carter? Danny's in here. Oh my God, no way. The original cast are coming back. Definitely feels that way, man. I cannot wait to see what this story is certainly going to entail. Good old Morgan. What's up, Morgan? Thank you very much for certainly coming through. We got Matthew in the house as well. Hashtag the Power Rangers. Good old Blossom in here also saying totally what I needed to take my mind off to these third grade gremlins today. Well, I'm glad we can help you out there, L'Oreal, for sure. Good old Tarek in the house. Dino Knights, fight for your rights. Certainly coming through. And of course, we got Adam Perea in the house as well. Good old Johnny certainly making his presence felt. Ram Jam's in here also. Good old Gamer Force certainly coming through for us as well. And Nerd Mix Alpha Indy popped in here briefly as well. We got Enrique Perez here also. Blossom says, David Yost is returning. Yay, my first love is returning. I mean, I got to think that he's certainly coming back for this anniversary special. I think this is his baby. At least I think that it certainly is. And with that, yeah, he's got to have an important part. So I definitely think so. Escaroma in the house. Thank you very much, Escaroma. Francois says, I hope whoever comes back for the MMPR team, their characters are respected and actually used properly. I want to see them reference their characters we all know and want a full morph sequence. We'll see what we wind up getting. I think it's interesting the fact that the article does say that the 44-minute length episodes that we thought we were getting for the season is actually for this anniversary reunion special. And so for me, I honestly love the sound of that. It gives the episode much longer time to breathe. We haven't seen these characters in like 25 plus years. And so the idea of having them kind of return, I think that gives us plenty of opportunity. Because I think even Jin in his Twitter space mentioned the idea that it might even be very character focused, or at least the thinking it was the actual season itself that might be really story focused, if you will. Now it's starting to make me believe that that's the idea for the reunion special, to really get into the storytelling, how much the characters have grown, what they've lost, how much it's changed, certainly in their lives. And that's super appealing to me. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some civilian fights. Will we get an actual morph sequence? We'll definitely have to see. I don't know how you can bring them back without a full morph sequence. But again, a lot of time has passed. Where are these characters in their lives, right? For me, I'm super fascinated to kind of catch up and catch up with them. Excuse me. Coder Nurse says it needs to be taken with a huge account of salt. And I will say this. When the Illuminerdi certainly drops it, I definitely do pay a lot much closer attention, and certainly will give them more of the benefit of the doubt than probably anybody else. But the fact that I have been not only listening to the Illuminerdi along with Jinsaku, having two completely different sources that talk to each other, if you will, and they're kind of both giving the same types of information, there is a part of me that does lean towards the idea of believing certainly a majority of what's certainly coming out. Again, definitely take it with some speculation and a grain of salt. Nothing's been confirmed by Hasbro exactly, but I think you guys can also see some of the connections, what two different people are certainly telling you, and how they're kind of lining up with one another. You know what I mean? So it is kind of coming together that way, but things can change. It is Hollywood. It is the idea of, last minute changes here or there. So anything can certainly change. They're just certainly giving you the insight as to what they certainly know as best as they can without revealing too much. Chris Cross says, do you think this will be filmed in New Zealand or California, maybe in CA? We would get really great writers, or even the man who gave us an amazing series so far with Dino Fury. I don't know where it's going to be filmed at. The casting sides that we had recently just seen, a lot of us were very much under the assumption that that's for the anniversary season itself, and it certainly could be still. But there is a part of me that does wonder if that is actually for this special. I don't know. That is just me trying to make the connections, because that casting side did reference filming in New Zealand, I think from like August to September. I don't know if that, again, I don't know if that's the season or the anniversary series itself, though. Let's see here. Who else we got? Coder Nerd says Jason, Billy, and the third better not be Tommy. I think if anything, I have a feeling it's probably going to be Amy. Amy and David are so tied at the waist, such close friends. It would be weird for me to see Billy back and then not Amy, or David back but not Amy. So there's a part of me that thinks that Amy's at least one of those characters. Again, they may be able to get all of them back. Again, Jin has mentioned the OGs certainly coming back, so he's under the impression that everybody will, whereas the Illuminerdi is at least letting them know they've been asked, and as of right now they at least know of 3 that are certainly returning. So maybe more will certainly come back. Tarek says, time to start doing my social media monitoring to see if any of the MMPR cast stopped posting for a while. I was absolutely on point when Austin and came back for Beast Morphers. Well, again, the casting side did mention the idea of being gone for like 5 to 6 weeks beginning in August. So, I don't know if that's for the season itself or for this special reunion that we're going to get. But yeah, Tarek, feel free to keep your eyes close, if you will. DHR2 says, I would rather take this with a grain of salt. Feel free to, guys. Right? That's where we always kind of start off with. Always feel free to certainly take it with a grain of salt. I'm just letting you know my confidence level in it a little bit, just based off of the two different people that I'm kind of hearing things from. But always certainly take it with a grain of salt until it's actually confirmed. It doesn't mean that you can't certainly speculate or lean one way or the other about some news that has certainly been revealed, right? So, some people need to see it to believe it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Tony Robinson in the house. What's up, Tony? Good to see you, man. Good old Dattila in the house as well. Coder Nurse said, Hasbro CEO watching this saying, well, this is news to me. Well, probably Brian Goldner took care of all this before he passed. Who certainly knows? Let's see here. We got John in the house. Would be cool if this special was the 30th season itself. Is there a possibility of that probably still happening? I don't know. Again, the Illuminerdi is telling us it's two separate projects. I've heard from Jinsaku the idea of a project being altered and changed, sort of thing. But this kind of Illuminati is kind of saying the idea that it's actually two different projects that are certainly happening. So yeah, trust me, John. I'm sure some people probably wish that this was the 30th season itself. I am kind of curious if there's going to be connective tissues between these two. I really do hope that there certainly is. But who's to say that the 30th anniversary season doesn't knock our socks off alone? So I'm going to definitely be open to both of them. What's up, Ralphie? Appreciate you coming through. Is this going to be a movie or a series? I'm assuming a series. I'm assuming a series as of right now. I haven't heard anything in regards to a movie. Ralphie says, now, wow, now I feel old. 30th anniversary for PR. Yeah, tell me about it. I totally get you, man. Nicole says, wow, 5 weeks, August to September. That's just around the corner. Yeah, that's what the casting sides was certainly asking for, to certainly be available for a time period in August to September sometime. And then I think they also released that script with the character Yen. So I think when we first heard that information, we were very much under the assumption that that is for the 30th season. And we thought, hey, maybe the 30th season itself is going to have shorter episodes based off of the 4 to 5 week filming period, because there's no way to film 44 episodes of a show in 4 to 5 weeks. So again, jury is still out in regards to what this anniversary season is going to be. What's it going to consist of? Is it a mixture of Rangers from past teams, or is this a completely brand new team that we're being introduced to? It could be a little bit of everything. That's why we say grain of salt until we start clarifying things a little bit, right? This was a day of clarification, if you will, in regards to the idea of there being two projects in the works behind the scenes. Chris Crossman, who is Jinsaku and is he reliable? Well, Jinsaku is over on Twitter. He actually, I want to say that they started a YouTube channel a long time ago, or a podcast called Time for Toku. I don't know if they still do it over there on their YouTube channel or not, but I feel like ever since I met Jinsaku, he definitely didn't have this source and this type of information when we first met. So I don't know who reached out to him or how he wound up making the connections that he certainly did. But it's benefited him so far. I will say this, some of the things that he has mentioned already has been secondarily confirmed or supported by the Illuminerdi, and they already have their own particular source, if you will, right? So you got two separate people being fed kind of similar information. The other people outside of Jin that I've talked to have mentioned that, yeah, he's gotten some things right, some things incorrect. And I think it maybe comes down to the idea of, again, I think Jinsaku's information, the way that it's coming in, feels very much like it's confusing and altogether, whereas the Illuminerdi sort of comes along and then takes that similar information but deciphers it and puts it in its correct context, if you will, right? So, I'm not going to give Jinsaku like a percentage. I don't really know how reliable he is, but I think if anything, when the Illuminerdi reinforces it and puts further clarity on it, I definitely will lean much more in believing the Illuminerdi is reliable. But each time they do that, at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, Jin's getting some stuff right here. It may not all come to us in the correct manner, but he is getting some information right. And again, the big question will certainly be, once the 30th anniversary is here and we do get these specials and these seasons, we'll have to be able to look back and in hindsight and see exactly how accurate this stuff kind of is. So I do believe Jinsaku and what he's telling us. Do I believe his source? Still to be determined, but I feel like for the most part, he's been pretty on point with a lot of things because I've seen it backed up at least by the Illuminerdi. And again, I've seen the Illuminerdi break things when it comes to Power Rangers well in advance. They did it with the letting us know on the Real Soldier adaptation early before Hasbro even announced Dino Fury. They did it also with the return for Colonel and Dr. K coming back to Beast Morphers, right? So there is validity on the side of the Illuminerdi, despite the pushback that it does unfortunately seem to get. But when it comes to Power Rangers, I definitely keep my ears open for sure. And when they're the ones also reinforcing some, maybe not all of Jinsaku's stuff, but some of it, I think you have to at least have your ears perked, maybe pay attention, but keep a sense of hesitancy. Hashtag grain of salt. That's why we always say that around here, right? So yeah, I definitely like listening to hear what Jinsaku's saying, and it's even better when it's solidified, if you will. Because remember, again, Jinsaku did mention earlier in the week the OGs are coming back, and the Illuminerdi now are coming out with their article confirming from their source as well. So there's some things that make sense. Francois says, how will Netflix release whatever this is? They're taking forever with the rest of Dino Fury. Patience, guys. Patience. Patience, man. It don't work that way. It don't work to snap a finger. Production's begun. Filming's completed. Boom. We get our patience, guys. If there's, for the love of God, and this isn't you, Francois, I just mean in general for the fandom, for the love of God, if we can't learn some goddamn patience around here, mind you, all this stuff that we're getting, guys, is stuff we are not even supposed to know about. And we know about this stuff much earlier than anything. So give Hasbro the time. Do we have release dates? No. Do we know when Dino Fury's No. Give them time. They're working on stuff. Let's learn some patience. Patience will pay off. And when Dino Fury Season 2, the second part drops, we're all going to be happy. There's no release schedule as of when this stuff happens. 30th anniversary, you got to think 2023, right? So next year, let's just assume next year. When does Power Rangers start? Everybody always knows. When does Power Rangers start? There's usually like 2 times during the year when Power Rangers drops brand new stuff. March, April, right? And then towards the middle or late end of the season. So if I had to make an assumption, anywhere around that time, anywhere around that time for 2023, guys. All right. It says 30th anniversary. So we only got a small amount of time, a small window for this stuff to actually happen. Ralphie says, by the way, man, thanks for the info. Appreciate it. It is something to look forward to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, regardless, grain of salt, regardless of how accurate this is, the fact that they are at least pushing and promoting the idea of a 30th anniversary season and special being looking forward to, man, That's got to get us excited. It's got to get us excited to some capacity. All right, guys. So thank you very much, everybody that certainly joined us for today's news. I have been seeing some people requesting me to finish off live viewer questions. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them today, but I don't mind picking out just a couple of more. I didn't expect to be on here for like an entire hour whatsoever to talk about Power Rangers. I just wanted to give the news and get some live chats in here. But I will go ahead and dive over and finish off, or at least try to attempt to knock out some of these other questions. What's up, JB says what? I appreciate you coming through. Tony says, hey, Adam, how would you feel if Lord Zed returns with Psycho Rangers by his side? I mean, I don't know if I would like the Psycho Rangers. Give me the Dark Rangers, though. I thought that was kind of teased in Beast Morphers. I mean, not Beast Morphers, in Dino Fury. So maybe not the Psycho Rangers, but I would be open to the idea of Dark Rangers. Do I expect them back? No, I just expect Lord Zed. I'm not expecting the Dark Rangers, but if I do think he's going to return with anybody, it'll definitely be the Dark Rangers, I think, Tony. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to go back to Alexander Rosario. He had a couple questions. Do I have my live viewer question tab up so people know where we transitioning to? Absolutely. What do you think of the series finale of Power Rangers Beast Morphers? I really enjoyed it. I like the ending for a lot of the characters, getting the glimpse into seeing what they've been promoted to or the life changes that they certainly had. I thought the action was certainly there. Actually, I thought the second half of the second season was incredible and a really great sort of momentum builder to the finale. So I was really satisfied with it. For me, it could have been better, is what you said, when it came to Evox's death, and Steel should have died an episode before, so his resurrection would have felt more impactful. But overall, I really liked it. Definitely better than nearly all Neo Saban finales during the 1 year later flash forward when Steel became an actor. I thought Blaze being Steel's stunt double was super random. That was kind of random. That was super random. I agree with you. I really wish Steel was human from the beginning. They did not have to copy the robot counterpart from Go Busters. This bothered me when Dino Charge reused the Sentai version of Keeper and Sledge with no real payoff. I definitely understand that. I am actually a fan of somebody of seeing Steel turn human, but I get what you're saying there. Let's see here. We got Mackenzie in the house. Mackenzie says, you know how when we have comic books based on Mighty Morphin featuring other Rangers, what do you think of Dino Fury having their own comic book overseas, like Germany? Even the cast themselves, their actual faces are in the comic book, both real pictures and an art form. Do you wish Hasbro did more comic books outside of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and available in other nations? I mean, I thought it would be pretty cool. But look, if Germany's gonna get Dino Fury, I want Dino Fury too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, don't just be giving other people other stuff that I can't get access to. Like, I would love to be able to read a Dino Fury comic book. Do I wish that they did more comic books outside of Mighty Morphin? Well, listen, they technically are, at least with the Power Ranger Universe series, which is focusing on the morphing masters at a very young age before they become morphing masters, if you will. And it's technically a whole entire brand new team. And they also have, I think, the Phantom Ranger, I think, involved in that series as well. So we are introduced to a brand new team there. So that has already kind of been accomplished. But I mean, if you want to go deeper, like as far as like another team season that we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised if the Power Ranger series starts turning more to, or eventually translating to, in space. I think that would be pretty cool to kind of see that team kind of come on board. But other than that, I don't see that as of right now. I think the only other team I would think of would be either Zeo or in space. So as of right now, probably not. But I think, again, with Power Rangers Universe, they're kind of already doing that with the Morphing Masters. Victor Flores, what's up, Victor? He says, I'm not sure if you will see this, but I am Victor. I watched your most recent video of the new Japanese Super Sentai series, Don Brothers. What do you think of Power Rangers series that comes next year? What do you think if the Power Rangers series that comes next year will adapt the series Zoologer? Do you think it can fit the main continuity of Power Rangers, and would you like to have a team up from the other Rangers? And so, listen, this kind of does take us back a little bit to the idea of what will the 30th anniversary special be, right? Because there was speculation very early on last year, the idea of maybe the 30th anniversary could be Zoologer, possibly. There had been talks that I think when they were trying to figure out what season they wanted to do for the 29th season, I want to say they said Zoologer and Rio Soldier were like the finalists or something like that. And they decided to go ahead with Rio Soldier to adapt into Dino Fury. So could Zoologer certainly still be on the table? Again, we heard about it very early on. Whether or not that comes to fruition, we'll see. But I think could they adapt it? Absolutely. I would be open for it for sure. Do I think it could fit in the main continuity of Power Rangers? And would you like to have a team up from other Rangers? I do kind of expect it to have a team up, if anything. And I do think it could fit main continuity. I think it really just depends on the writer and how you adapt it, really. I'm not sure if the Rangers that came back for Zoologer are ones that are from past Power Rangers shows. Would you like to see actors return physically or just their voices physically? Did we have a team up of the current series of Power Rangers Dino Fury? I don't believe so. I'm not expecting one because of COVID, I think. But you said, I'm not sure if the Rangers that came back from Zoologer are the ones that are from past Power Ranger shows. That would be the big question, right? The idea of, again, grain of salt. Some of the rumors that we had been hearing about the 30th anniversary season was multiple Rangers coming back and forming a whole brand new team with maybe one new Ranger, right? I do think that's possibly still on the table for a 30th anniversary season. Are the suits the past Rangers and this new person acquire the Zoologer suits? I don't know. Possibilities, though. Possibilities. What's up, Morgan? Good old Morgan Hutchinson. It's good to see you around here. Hi, I'm Morgan. Hope you don't mind me joining. Never, never. Saw some of your video discussions on the CW series Naomi. Okay, so you're from Hero Report. I dig it. Just after the video finished, your other channel was recommended called A Plus Morphinominal. I grew up watching the series from 1999 called Lightspeed Rescue, and it was amazing. Ideal female Ranger team. Anyway, if you could make a full 5 to 6 Ranger team using only former female Rangers, who would be on it? Think like a full but female only crew. So 6 Rangers. Give me Lauren. Give me Cassie. Give me Jen. Give me Vita. Give me Izzy. And give me Zoe. I was going to say either Zoe or Summer from RPM, but give me Zoe. I'm going to show Jacqueline Sislowski some love. So that's was that 6? Was that 6? Cassie, Jen, Lauren, Vita, Izzy, and Jacqueline. Yeah, 6. I guess the question I have for you, Morgan, would be, who would your team be? Who would your full female team be? Michael says, would you like Zenkaiser to eventually be adapted? How that? Not really. Not really. Stay away. Stay away. That's just me. Let's see here. Jack Daniels. What's up, Jack? He says, as a whole, what did you think of Disney era Power Rangers until now and compared to all the Neo Saban seasons, except for Beast Morphers, which was the most recent season? As a whole, what did I think of Disney era Power Rangers? I thought production wise, they were handled extremely well. I did like seeing the growth of Power Rangers on Disney. I definitely do think that they um created some amazing shows, and I really liked their formula in regards to putting it together. I mean, we had some really great set pieces, some amazing characters, some really solid actors too, and some fun stories. I may not necessarily be the biggest fan of all Disney, but I think there are certainly some Disney Power Ranger seasons that are grossly sort of underrated than more than they certainly have been. But I think they're probably all maybe better than what we've gotten from the Neil Saban era seasons. And I also wonder if, because it was Disney, if Disney had access to just better actors, a better field of talent to sort of to pull from, you know what I mean? Because I do think they had some really great solid performances in there, probably better than any. I mean, you look at Rose McIver and Ika from RPM, and they went on to do pretty big things, when it comes to their careers in general of acting. I think if anything, if there was an issue that I had with Power Rangers on Disney for the most part, Dino Thunder might have quelched some of that concern. I really was not the biggest fan of them being separated, like non-continuity wise. After the whole, in space, sort of after the Saban era stuff, everything felt very individualized in its own significant season. And some people probably enjoyed that, but I think for me back in the day, it really bummed me out, man. I was not the biggest fan of it, sort of thing. I always believed each Ranger team should know of the Ranger team that certainly came before them, sort of thing. And it necessarily wasn't always the case. So that was probably my biggest downfall for Disney. But in hindsight, looking back, yeah, they had some great seasons. And if VR Troopers were to ever have a modern day revival, what do you want to see different while staying true to the original VR Troopers series, especially since VR has been a thing nowadays in real life? And that's the one thing that we talked about, right? Like, people have asked me all the time, Adam, like, if you could bring back some of Saban's like failed or, Beetleborgs or VR Troopers or Masked Rider, what would you bring back? I always say VR Troopers, just based off of where technology is today and how like the VR in general has really expanded, engulfed things. And so I think you could do a really great modern day revival of VR Troopers if they certainly wanted to. So yeah, if anything, maybe I think you could probably definitely make it computer based for sure. The idea of surfing the internet and going digital and things like that. Maybe all your fight sequences are on a digital stage or something like that. I think you can make it work. I think you can make it work. Adrian, what's up, Adrian? What do you think of the first episode of Time Force when this first scene we got was the year 3000 with Alex, who was the first Red Ranger fighting against Rancic before he went on trial and was about to go to prison? It still amazes me the PR introduced us to an epic fight right from the get-go. The story echoes of episode 1 of Dino Fury season 2 with Zato grinding on rooftop of a building. Yeah, but the difference certainly is one didn't end in the death of somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me that always struck a chord with me for sure. Speaking of Dino Fury, with it being our 4th Dino season, what do you hope doesn't happen in the second half of the season 2 when it comes to keeping the series connected to the main timeline universe of Power Rangers? I remember Dino Supercharged started off being as in the main universe, but we all know how that went with the series finale. I've heard some others online that they're scared that Dino Fury might pull another time travel fiasco, especially with the cosmic Dino Key that was introduced towards the end of the season that can open up a portal. You know what? That's a really good idea. I mean, the cosmic Dino Key certainly could, and I didn't think about the idea of even time traveling being a thing when it comes to Dino Fury. For me, I honestly think the only connection we'll get this season will be Lord Zed if he comes back this season. Um, but outside of that, I think that's about it. I mean, you might get maybe Serpentera, maybe the Dark Rangers, but that's just all speculation on my part. So I think Dino Fury has the story that it certainly wants to tell. And I think it will be significantly separate from MMPR or the original series. Maybe a couple of nods here or there, but I do think it'll end up being its own thing. Marcus Bauer Smith. What's up, Marcus? What were some of your fondest memories and experience at Power Morphicon? And do you hope it's even better this year with it returning in person since the pandemic? I had a really good time with the fans there. I actually met a really good friend in Kent Brown over there. The first Power Morphicon that I went to. Actually, that's the only Power Morphicon that I went to back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Ken and I became pretty good friends. Actually, went out to go visited him for his birthday one day. He lives in Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. But Ken, I don't know if he's still working over at the Morphine Network. I've seen him do a couple of interviews for them also. So I don't know if Kent's still working there or not, but got to meet some really great people there. Bumped into was it Andre, the Black Comedy Nerd? Fantastic to meet. Got the opportunity to have some shenanigans with good old, was it Hector David Jr. from Megaforce? Drunk off his ass that night. It was so funny. But no, it was a fun time, man. The panels I thought were really solid. All the Rangers were super nice to meet. Everybody was super friendly, even if they had super long lines. Easy to navigate. I had a blast, man. Great cosplayers and everything. The energy was pretty palpable. I had a fun time. What do you think of the 2015 rated R film of Power Rangers? And did you feel it was disrespectful to Power Ranger fans, especially the scene of Trini's funeral? I thought it was disrespectful because Tui herself had unfortunately passed away. I'm not sure if the producer didn't know she had passed away in 2001 or that was just his vision of Trini. I didn't find it disrespectful at all. I think creators have their own visions of what they would like to see a fandom be. And I think the idea of making a film is just like making any other fan film. You're just creating what you would like to see. And this creator just happened to really want to push the envelope on a rated R. It's not like people haven't talked about the idea of, hey man, I would really love to see what a dark, sort of a more adult, mature Power Rangers will certainly look like. And he gave it to us. And when we did get it, all of a sudden, some people are offended, like, hey, how dare you do that to the Power Rangers? Listen, people have been asking for that for years. And now that we got it, you may not have been asking for it, or maybe that's not necessarily how you envisioned it, but that's how the creator envisioned it. So I didn't find it disrespectful, insulting whatsoever. I'm pretty sure he probably was very aware of Tui passing away. And so it just makes a natural sense then for your Yellow Ranger to unfortunately have passed away. If they want to make it part of their storyline, that's fine. We don't know the reason. I don't think he clarified in storyline purposes as to what happened to Trini. Um, but that's the cost of being a ranger. You know what I'm saying? Superheroes unfortunately die. Just because our hero in Toei has passed away in real life doesn't mean that it's off limits to have her character die in some sort of way also. Who's to say she didn't save an entire planet and sacrificing himself? Is that disrespectful to highlight at funeral? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's just me though. That's just me. Um, let's see here. What else we got? Haruki, how are you enjoying Don Brothers so far? Are you confident the series will keep its momentum? I am confident. I have loved Don Brothers, but I actually have not watched the last two episodes. I've just been super busy. I was going to plan on watching it today, and then Power Ranger news dropped, so we had to talk about it. What past Sentai team would you like to make an appearance or crossover with Don Brothers aside from Zenkaiger, which Don Brothers connected to? Give me maybe Ninja. I wouldn't mind seeing was it Lucky? Was it Lucky that was no, that's not Lucky. Who was the I was gonna say the Ninja Red. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. Takaharu. There we go. Or Igasaki. Takaharu, I believe his name is. Yeah. Maybe him. Maybe him. There's a lot of questions here, guys. So I'm not going to get to all these today. I'm probably going to do one or two more, and then wrap up, and we'll tackle some more this weekend if we have an episode this weekend. This is from Brittany. What's up, good old Brittany Carrasco? Do you think Power Rangers after Dino Fury will get much stronger material, like from the writers? I do. Beast Morphers was pretty solid. Dino Fury is even step in the right direction even more. I think whatever comes after Dino Fury will even be a bigger step in the right direction. Isn't it amazing that Turbo was a really bad series by many, but then Power Rangers in Space surprised everyone with how incredible it was? Which saved the franchise back in 1998, and now Dino Fury has become a huge, huge hit with fans around the world after multiple disappointments with Neo Saban era. Yeah, I think the adapting Car Ranger for Turbo was a huge risk just based off of the comedy factor involved in it. And Saban went the route of the comedy aspect, in regards to adapting it. And it definitely took its toll on the series for sure. So In Space was a breath of fresh air. And so is Dino Fury. And then we'll wrap up with Nova Productions. Remember in season 1, episode 14 of Dino Fury, when we got a return for Lord Zed, do you think there's a chance he might actually pop up in the second half of the season? Yes, I do think so. Now that I think about it, because I believe that's one of the reasons why Ion was even awoken, if I'm not mistaken. I thought the Green Morphine Master specifically said that she brought him back in an attempt to defeat her face off against Lord Zed. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that episode. When Ion, which revealed that a Morphine Master opens up Ion's thing, I'm assuming they probably have met Ion officially and he tells them their story. I have to go back and remember what episode that was, but I thought the Morphine Master mentioned specifically that they were bringing him back to help out with the Zed situation, but I could be wrong. So I am expecting him back. Following, did you see the stock footage when Rita and Zed turned human in the episode? We were introduced to the Dino Fury cycle. There's no way Simon Bennett and the showrunner would leave answers open since he did bring Lord Zed back. That's what I'm saying. I think if you're opening the lid for Lord Zed, he's got to come back in some capacity or another, whether or not that means this season or for the 30th anniversary. Like, did Simon Bennett set something up for the future seasons to take advantage of? We'll definitely have to see. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for me here. Again, we do have more questions from A+ Morphinominal, so I definitely will go ahead and tackle those later on in the week for you guys. But really, the purpose of today's show was certainly go ahead and talking about the fact that the Illuminerdi is, again, exclusively reporting here that we have plans, or at least they have plans, for a good old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion special. Something to certainly go ahead and look forward to. So once we get more details and better understanding in regards to everything that's happening, we certainly will go ahead and continue to keep you posted in regards to that. But as of right now, it feels very much like we've got ourselves a 30th anniversary season, along with a 30th anniversary reunion special where they are expected to get the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger cast certainly back together. Could this be Quantum Continuum? I certainly think so. So definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. And we'll definitely keep you guys posted throughout the week whenever we get any new information. But other than that, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for me here. I'll see you guys later on this week. But in the meantime, do me a big favor as always. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.